The next step is getting the windows mounted into the far end of the building, opposite of the new loft I built in the original part that will be sort of an office for me. These are window sashes that would have slid up and down on window weights, or ropes and window weights, and each one of those panes is individual double paned glass. So these were windows made for the renovation of a large warehouse that was converted into a different type of a building, and I just ended up with these that were extras or some sort of issue with them. But they've all, they're just perfect for what I'm doing. I have the right number for the job I'm doing, which is 6. These are the window frames, 2x6s. Those top 3 pieces ripped to 4 inches. This bottom piece kept it its full 5.5. This is what that bottom board looks like on its own. 10-degree angle cut, so that matches a 10-degree angle I cut on the sash, so that will sit right here. And so this is an overhang, and then if water runs over, this little groove you see right here, my finger's in, that is for the water to drip off. So if the water rolls around, it drips off instead of running up under there into the building. So I think that is it. Pocket hole screws holding it all together. I may come in with some of my wood preservative and kind of treat some of this exposed end grain and maybe this portion, but I could do that once it's up on the building. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting these assembled. Been doing a lot of work on these windows and haven't filmed it in detail and nowhere near at full length, but wanted to show you an update on these gable end windows before I move forward painting them. So the frames are made out of 2x6s. That interior arch is made out of just some yellow pine from the sawmill. So some of the only wood that I've actually purchased for this project, except for some treated posts, just because it's consistent, easy, lightweight supply of wood, and I knew some of these window frames were going to be kind of heavy. So they're cut down to 5 inches in width, the boards, and then again, this frame is 5 feet tall and 3 feet wide, so it's going in a 3-foot wide rough opening. It's going to have an arch top window over top the lower part of the window. The lower part of the window is going to be an awning style window unit using these sashes right here. So those are individual panes of glass. It's double pane, but divided light. And they're pretty big windows. I think they're 39 inches tall by 33 inches wide. They're very heavy. So you can see the part on the side where the window weights, where the ropes would go. And if y'all are familiar with how those work, that's what they are. Very nice. Got them for practically for free. So that'll go in the lower part. And then in the top part, that's going to get a clear sheet of glass. May end up getting some fancy trim on it, depending on what I do on the inside. But I think it's just going to get a plain sheet of glass in the top part on the outside. Then on the inside, you can see there's a rabbet cut around the edge, the recess. And that's going to get a stained glass panel. And then all this is going to get, trim. You won't see any of this. This will all be inside the wall. But this upper part is made out of 3 layers thick of some plain down 2x material. And then I rough cut each piece out with a jigsaw, squared up some corners with a miter saw, pocket screwed everything together, and then into 3 of what you see here, and then glued those 3 sections together using a lot of glue. And I say that just to where the glue would fill any seams where things are a little uneven. And then smooth everything up with a belt sander, so just a hand belt sander. The easiest thing to do would have probably been to just glue up the blank and then cut it out on my bandsaw, which cuts very cleanly, or make a single template and then use a router with a flush trim bit, so just a pattern type bit, and then just run that around and cut each section, then glue them together carefully. But this is fine. I was a guy working on the carport, just doing it like the average fella without having a big shop. So I'm just set up out here on my carport, sawhorses and a sheet OSB, which makes for a great workbench, and mostly just cordless tools, shop lights, because I'm out here doing most of all this at nighttime. It is probably under 20 degrees, around 20 degrees right now. It's very cold. But enjoy doing this. Doing some stuff like this in hindsight is always some of my favorite stuff I do. So having a good time doing it. Trying to not think about all the other stuff I should be doing right now. But everything is just screwed together, glued, and pocket hole screws. So decking screws, pocket hole joinery, and then gluing it together. And it's all mainly just getting painted in the end. It's going to get painted a green color, and then I'm unsure of what's going to happen with the stained glass panel. But next up, going down the basement, painting all the frames and the windows.
Thank you.
this is where that archtop pane is going to go, and I've already applied some compound in that recess, and that'll be the back bedding to kind of seat the glass evenly in the space, and then I'll put the glazing points in, and then the compound on the outside. Glazing points are in right there and elsewhere. I'm gonna go and clean up the back bedding on the inside, then come back and do the outside. You can see, looking through the glass, you can clearly see the edge of the bedding now. So I'll be able to shape the compound on the outside right to that. There she is for now. Always want more out of it, but you have to stop at some point or you just keep messing it up. One trick is when you're using your putty knife to smooth all this down, dip it in mineral spirits, and that helps it slide across it, smooth it down, make a slicker surface overall. I'll let this set up for a couple weeks, prime it with oil-based primer, and then my latex finish. Let's do a review of what we got and what we need to do. So there's the one on this end. I'm really pleased with it. Now keep in mind there's going to be a stained glass window at some point behind the clear glass, the archtop part, and that glazing compound will end up green, so that white line will disappear around that. And then there'll be some sort of trim that goes around the top and down the sides of the window, and then the siding of choice, whatever that ends up being, will end up going up against it. And I'm thinking some sort of shingles. So I'm thinking, you know, this is poplar siding and then poplar bark there. I was thinking about making some poplar actual, you know, 1/4 inch or so regular looking shingles and shingle this. So it would be all poplar siding in 3 different forms. So I think that could look neat. And of course this will have the batten strips over top that. I do not know yet what the trim around the windows will look like, so that will come in time. But let me run up there real quick and do a close-up. There's the window. Another thing to kind of mention about this is this window and the others. I found these after I had framed the rough openings, and they just happened to fit and had exactly the amount that I needed. So that was a very happy accident. And I'm really pleased with the work. You know, it took forever to do these, but it's all really clean looking. You know, taping off the glass, cleaning up the windows the best I could. Not the glass, I mean, but the actual frames before I painted it. You know, making the decision to go ahead and do the arch. I questioned whether or not I should do it, but I think it's gonna look really good in the end. Lets in extra light, lets me see high up in the sky really quick and easy when I'm standing in there without having to get close to the window. Makes the room seem bigger. I just think it's gonna look really nice in the end. I like the black hinges versus if they were just, you know, galvanized or zinc coated hinges. I think these are actually better protection being painted versus the galvanized or zinc ones, whatever they are. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only thing that I need to do is underneath here, I didn't put that little drip groove on these, but it's no big deal. I'll just get up on the ladder and run my router on its side and cut that groove underneath, and then probably touch up the paint. But y'all consider what you think about the siding, whether or not I should go shingles, do something different. I could just put boards over top this and board and batten up close, so it would just be kind of bumped out. But yes, very pleased. I'll do a couple beauty shots and we'll end there. Thanks for watching.